Hello and welcome to £100 and Counting. I'm Sarah and I'm on a journey to lose £100 with Slimming World. So this morning I'm in my new car that I picked up yesterday, so super excited. I did actually still intend to walk to my meeting this morning, but it's decided to tip it down, so I am not needing much of an excuse to get in it and drive it around right now, so off we go. I have now completed 4 full weeks at Slimming World, so this will be my full month's results for the weigh-in today. So far up to now, I lost £9 in my first 2 weeks and then I maintained last week. So I am hoping for a good loss this week still. That said, I've got this niggly voice in my head this morning that is making me a bit nervous about it. And last week I put the maintain down to kind of a hormonal thing that happens to us ladies. But I guess this morning I get to find out if that's really true or if I was just making excuses. But I don't know, I'm trying to ignore that negative voice in my head. I know I've been on plan the whole time and I do deserve a good loss. I've kind of got this angel and demon thing going on, I guess, on my shoulders this morning. But I'm trying to ignore that little demon. He's just trying to wind me up. But here we go. I better get going, go find out, and I will be updating you shortly. Wish me luck. Hey, so I am now out of my my meeting. It went really well, had a good week, so 3.5 off, which is brilliant. That is the kind of thing I really wanted to see this week with having the maintain last week. So I'm really chuffed with that. I mean, 3.5 now, we're just into the, kind of the main routine of losing weight. I've got over that, that first part of where you get the big loss right at the beginning. So 3.5 in 2 weeks is great. If I can maintain anything kind of like that going forward, that's half a stone a month. So really, really chuffed with that. I did get Slimmer of the Week again today, which actually, to be fair, I shared Slimmer of the Week because there was another person with the same weight loss. So that was nice. So we've got a few things in the bag. They send us away with the bag of goodies that people come in and donate. So I've got in here a grapefruit, some tomato passata, butter beans, a jar of red cabbage. There's baked beans and some tuna, and what else did we get? Some mixed beans, which are in a tomato sauce. That'd be interesting. Anyway, so they're all SWIP-free products that I get to take home and make use of when I'm ready. Something that also happened in meeting today is I got the Slimmer of the Month as well. Woo! Is that not still Slimmer of the Week, that one, but Slimmer of the Month, which I didn't even know was a thing. So yeah, so I've lost 12.5 pounds in my first month, so super chuffed about that. So I need to get off the car park as there's another meeting coming in. So I will just give some thought to what I'm going to be doing for the week ahead, and I'll just talk about that in a little moment when I get home. And let's crack on. So that's month 1 on the slimming plan now completed. I've been reviewing my results today and I'm really happy with where I've landed. 4 weeks ago today, I weighed 20 stone and 13 pounds. Today, I weigh 20 stone and half a pound. So that's a 12.5 pound loss in 4 weeks, just 1.5 pound off a full stone. I'm really, really pleased with that. I didn't expect to get that much even in my first month. That first 2 weeks is where we saw that big beginner's loss, but the last 2 weeks, I think, is definitely something we can consider as potentially the kind of rate of weight loss I can hopefully see longer term if I really stay committed to the plan in the way I have been so far. So 3.5 pounds every couple of weeks. I'm just going to kind of round that to £7 a month. I worked out that if I was to stay at that rate, I would achieve my £100 loss by this time next year, just another 12 months away. And that is crazy to me to think that's possible. I mean, that's just over 7 stone. Now, I really don't want to set a time scale on my weight losses. I think that's a very quick way for me to spiral out of control, but it is just really interesting to consider that that's possible. I was thinking more of something along the lines of a 2 to 3 year program to kind of get down to that level, and then reconsider where, how we go forward from there. I mean, it probably isn't realistic to consider, sticking on plan in the same way I have done in this first month, consistently for a whole year. I mean, there are things like, birthdays, holidays, and just other festivities that kind of can slow things down on a week by week basis here and there. But even if you thought, well, then let's say 18 months, of consistent work, even taking those slower weeks into account, that's still tangibly quick. So yeah, that's really exciting actually, and it makes me feel really positive about how we've started. So something else I've been just looking at today since I got home. Last week I shared a photograph of when I passed my driving test, and whilst that photo had been taken a couple of weeks into me, or having already got started on the plan, I decided to make that my starting photo, as I hadn't actually taken a full body photo already to use. And I did say that at that stage my body composition really hadn't started to change anyway, so the visual we were seeing is pretty accurate. This week I actually started to feel like some of that body composition was changing. In particular, I've got a pair of jeans that I kind of a favourite pair, but I noticed as I was wearing them I kept having to kind of pull them up quite a lot. So today what I've done is I've taken my measurements again. I did take measurements originally after my very first Slimming World meeting 4 weeks ago, so I've got something to compare those to. And we have seen a change actually, so I've got those written down here. I took a chest measurement, a waist measurement and a hips measurement. My chest measurement I take just kind of along my bra line. Waist and hips can be a bit of a tricky one, especially when you're kind of oddly shaped like I am. But just to get the same point-to-point measurements each week so it's comparable. How I try and get around that is I just look for my narrowest point on my waist and compare that. And I take my hips, whatever my widest part of my hips is at that point, I take that measurement. So I've got comparisons on these. My chest measurement when I started 4 weeks ago was 43 inches, and it's now 42 inches, so it's an inch loss on there. My waist measurement was 45 inches 4 weeks ago. It's now 44.5 inches, so half an inch loss. And my hips measurement was 57 inches 4 weeks ago and is now 55 inches. So that's a 2 inch loss there. And I definitely think that's where I'm feeling it with my jeans. My particular body shape is that I'm quite, well, I carry my weight everywhere at this point, but I'm particularly bottom heavy, kind of midriff and my hips area are where it's most noticeable in terms of my body shape. So feeling it there already is really good news. The waist measurement itself didn't move much, just half an inch, but it's all heading in the right direction, so no complaints at all from me. I'm going to continue to take a monthly measurement now at the end of each month, which I'll put into a month review similar to how I'm doing now. So we'll be able to track those as the months go ahead and see how that builds up. Something we do get to do this week is add our little stones to the jar I'm keeping. So this jar already has 18 stones in it for as £half-pound markers for the £9 I'd lost so far. But as we've now lost another £3.5, I have 7 more stones to pop in my jar. So that goes in, a little bit fuller. For those of you who hadn't seen this one before, I'm filling this up with 1 stone per £half-pound that I lose each week, or well, hopefully with losses each week, but as I lose it. And this glass should be pretty much full by the time we get to £100 worth, 200 stones. The stone word, or maybe I should use a different word because that's probably quite confusing for those of us who count weight in stones and pounds, but for stones I really do just mean one little stone in this instance. So on to the new week ahead. I've nothing out of the ordinary coming up this week, so it should just be a smooth running on the programme, follow my plan, and that will hopefully lead us to a weight loss next week. I'd love to get that £1.5 off to get me to that stone mark, but let's see how we go. I dug out some of my old Slimming World recipe books also this week, so I've got them piled up and I'm going to start to look through them, pick out some recipes that sound interesting and give them a try. I'm hoping I can find something that is worth filming for you guys as well, so that could be part of the future food content. If there is anything further you'd like to see from me that I'm not yet doing or talking about doing, or if you've just got any questions for me at all, please do post them in the comments. I really do love to hear from you guys, and you've been brilliant at sending me messages of support so far. Thank you very much. I will always respond if you are getting in touch with me, so do come down for a chat and hopefully I'll see some of you there. You have already given me some great ideas, such as the walking videos, indoor walking videos that you can get on YouTube to follow, which is really going to solve a problem for me because it will not stop raining here at the moment. Again, northwest of the UK, it's not that unusual, but it is stopping me getting out on those walks that I'd really like to be doing more of. I think getting into those is going to be really perfect for me for that reason. So I'm going to be giving that a go as we head into February, and that's that. So thank you very much for checking in with me today for this week's weight loss results. I hope you're doing just as well on your own journeys if you've started, or that you're inspired to get started if not. I hope to see you back here next week. Goodbye.